Okay, so now I am going to start my site modeling. This is kind of an example. So I've got a road and a nice sidewalk with a beautiful curb. I have the massing shape that is allowed on this site. So we're going to get to this stage, and then eventually we're going to get the property line and all the setbacks and all that stuff in there. So to start your new file, if you're starting from fresh, getting a project, and I'm going to use one of the supplied templates. We need to make our own template, but for now I'm going to use this one called Residential Default. And just so that you know, that is in the English Imperial folder. So I need Imperial units for this housing project. Okay, so I've got a new file starting. I've already got the format terrain object and I exported it to a DWG, and now I want to import the DWG into this file so that I can make a topo surface from it. Okay, I have found the DWG file. There it is. I'm gonna take this correct lines off, and oh boy, I think it was oh goodness, I think it was feet and inches. Oh my goodness. Okay, anyway, open. We'll find out pretty darn quick. That's all I can say about that. Looks like it might have been wrong, but there it is. That's a DWG. Now I'm going to make a site topo surface. Create from import, select it. It's this one, and I can't remember which layer I told you I needed. Give it 0. This is a great demo so far. And you know, I would hazard a guess that was correct. Wow, this is a really flat site. So all these little points, they have heights. See that one? Minus 5 feet something. This guy, minus 8 feet. So it worked. It's just a really quite a flat site. But it gets you what you need. Green check mark to finish. Okay, so if I put this on a shaded view, you can see I still have the DWG showing. So I'm just going to select it and hide it for now. EH is the shortcut for that. There, beautiful. Got my topo surface in. And I usually like to make the material of my topos a light green grass color because that's what I want. And when you bring that up into your file, it comes with gray all the time, which I find super annoying. So I'm going to make it yellowy. There. Good. Okay. Wow, that was a lot. Okay, I'm going to save this since I did all that work. And I'm going to call it 1080 as well, because that's what I want to do. And save. All right, there we have it. All right, here I am in the site plan view in Revit. And I don't want you to think I just guess at everything. So here's my image and terrain in format. And in format, I will measure just approximately. I'm not snapping to the corner. But I have about 790 feet across the top. So just to make sure I brought it in using the right units. This is the site plan view, same as the top view in the other program. So I'm just going to go up here and measure. This one I can snap to the corner. And guess what? 700 and almost 90-ish. So in fact, the scale is correct. Nice thing about this is you can see that little survey point thingy is right smack in the middle. And that was because, see the z-axis, this blue line? I put it kind of right in the middle of my site. That way, I know that my block is right about in that area. All right, now I need to get the property line and all that kind of stuff. So I'll do that next. All right, I'm back. It finally did it. And there are gazillions and gazillions of spots on there for heights. I'm going to use this simplified surface because it'll improve the system performance, as it says. Sure, 3 inches is good. That's just what it recommended. Hopefully that won't take too long. And then we'll do the green check mark to finish. Not responding. Yeah, my computer's getting really slow these days. Okay, finish. And then we're going to see a topo surface. And if you have your graphic settings set to shaded, it's brown. So that's fine. That's all good. Okay, now okay, I need to get the property lines in here. So I'll stop this and then I'll get that prepared and then I'll start again. Okay, here is my site with the 3P file and the L file, legal boundaries. I'm just going to use a couple of the lines and get a few of them into this file. I'm going to use the Pick Lines tool, that one, and that one. This is good, and I'm not really looking to get that tree. I want to get that one. And then this is the, it's all little bits. I'm going to smooth it out later, but this is the back of the sidewalk, the cyan colored line. If you don't know how to figure that out, you just use the query tool. I'll show you that in a sec. As soon as I'm done here. Okay, I just want to get the general shape. It's way too segmented, but that's good. There's the lip of gutter usually for the sidewalk. Look at these guys too. And I'll just go around the corner. So what I'm doing is just giving myself some lines so I can model the street and the curbs around my property. I just want to create some context for this project, so that's why I'm getting all of these things right now. I could do it all later as well, but I just gonna get it started. Okay, so I'm kind of like at a intersection here, so all right, there. So I'm on lot 29. That's the elevation. Like I said, I moved my topo surface down from 1078.22 meters above sea level. Grabbed the whole topo, moved it down so that I could see all this stuff. That's enough information for now. So all I got to do now, if you go to visibility graphics, I imported those categories. So I'm just going to turn the visibility of those off. And then you just see a bunch of squiggly lines. To put it on shaded, that's what you have. And there's my property. So this stuff here, this was actually an ARC, according to the City of Calgary's website too. So if you zoom in on your property, and you'll see that that was an 11.1 ARC. So when I create this into a property line by sketching, I'm going to do that because you need to label your property lines correctly. So you pick the property line tool, create by sketching, and this one I'm just going to click those lines because they were definitely lines. Then I'm going to switch to an arc and get the beginning and the end. And it was barely an arc, but I need it to be an arc in Revit in order to label it properly. Okay, and then now because I have the property line there, I can get rid of those detail lines because I don't need those anymore. And then I just want to make sure everybody labels their property line correctly. Often a lot of people think when I say label your property line, they put the words property line. That's not what I mean. I mean use the proper tag. So if you go to annotate and you want to tag this thing by category, if you click on the property line, it should bring that tag. I don't like the leader. There. So that's correctly labeling your property line. Not using the words property line. Okay? Drives me cuckoo. So this one is an arc and this one is that. Okay? Right now it's reading the length of the line in feet. We'll switch that to meters later to use that properly. So there you have it. The property line is always way too thin according to my liking. So, you know, we'll change the thickness of that just so that it shows properly. It's going to override it, the line weight, and make it nice and heavy. 10. There. Okay. Property line. It's a good time to hit save, and then we'll go into the next steps. Oops. Just a sec. Okay, so here's my property line. I'm in a site plan view. And as soon as I switch to 3D view, I can zoom in on my property, but you'll notice you don't see those property lines in a 3D view, which is not what I want. I definitely want to see them in the 3D view, like this one doesn't have it either. So what all I mean is we're going to make a line style that you can use in a 3D view as well. Okay. Okay, here I am in my site plan view. Property line shows up here. It doesn't show up in 3D. So what I need to do is create a model line that looks like a property line. So it'll show up in 3D. So first I'm going to make the line style. I'm going to go to Manage, Additional Settings, Line Styles. Expand the lines, and in here they don't have the one I want, so I'm going to make a new one. I'm going to call it a 3D property line. Okay, name it whatever you want. I'm going to make it a nice fat line so that I can see it, and the pattern is going to be dash dot dot. See this one? Dash dot dot. So I'm going to use that. Okay. Now, it's not an annotation line. If you go to the Architecture tab, it's a model line. I'm going to set the style now that I made it. It's right there. And I'm going to use those things just like I did before, only this one is a model line. It's not the actual property line tool. And I'm doing that so I can see it in the presentation thing. Okay, yeah, you may wonder why it's not fat, and that's because I have the line weights turned off. So now you can see it's a funny looking line because in this site plan view, I've got two lines on top of each other. But if I go to my 3D view, indeed, there it is. It's just disappearing a little bit there. But that is the new line, and if I click on it, over here, it is a model line that I created. What we're trying to do is get to this kind of a thing. So, turn on your section box, chop your site down, create your street, which is a building pad, digs into the ground. And then I do a sidewalk. I like to use the floor tool. The reason I do that is I can add a slab edge to it. That's the curb. And then you can make these up, but this is another model line, and it is, I called it setback. And I marked out my setbacks. This is not annotation text, this is model text. So, because I want to use this stuff in 3D. Then I plopped in a 3D mask, gave it in a kind of semi-transparent color and labeled how high. And that is how you create this kind of a image, which is really nice to have. All right, 3D view, turn on your section box, and away you go. Do everything that I just said I did, and I'll come back when I've got it all done.